Hireable Podcast, a podcast started by the Center for Career and Professional Development to help you navigate your career and personal goals. My name is Edson and Alexa, and I am your host for this episode. I am joined by my esteemed colleague, someone who keeps me in line and keeps our team in line, does a very good job, and as our co-host today, Miss Alexa. How are we doing today, Alexa?
Great. Thank you for having me, Edson.
All right, awesome. We are also joined by our esteemed guest today. I don't know how we were able to get her to come, but I just said, let me reach out, and she's like, sure. I was like, yes. We have the Miss Wonderful Trish Singh, who is coming from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, awesome. Thanks for coming.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, cool, great. So our topic today that we'll be discussing is confidence and courage. You might be thinking, why are we talking about confidence and courage? I don't know about you, but like me personally, that's something that I struggle with. Something that I've always have, and I know if I struggle with it, I know other people might struggle with it too. So our team talked about it and figured this would be a good topic to talk about how to kind of overcome it, how to really gain confidence, how to be courageous in areas where you feel you might not be able to do so, which is why we tapped Trish and she was able to come through and share her thoughts on that. Alexa, do you have any additional thoughts on confidence and courage?
Well, I kind of wanted to share this quote. So it's courage is not in the absence of fear, but the triumph over it by Nelson Mandela. So for the viewers, let that resonate with you for a moment because fear makes you human. It does not make you weak. We all feel it. And yeah, so on that note, we'll get into our first question over here. So, drum roll. So what does confidence and courage mean to you?
Yeah, for me, I think confidence is really the belief in your own abilities to do anything, right? It's that little voice in the back of your head that's like, I got this, I can do this. And I think courage is really the action of acting on that confidence, right? I have prepared for this and I'm gonna do it regardless of what the outcome is, right? I think that's the key difference between the two.
Absolutely, I love that response. So on another note, I'll hand it over back to Edson to ask some more questions.
Thank you. All right, Trish, thank you for that amazing response to that. And I wanted to ask a question because there's always been this concept and talk about leaders are born, no, leaders are made, it's both, so there's always been this kind of back and forth tug of which is real or not. And I believe that goes also with confidence and courage.
Yep.
So with confidence and courage, do you feel we're born with it? Do you feel it's earned? We're made into being confident and being courageous? Is it a mixture of both? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it could be a mixture of both, right? But for me, I would say personally, confidence was something that I think was developed over time. When you're exposed to specific situations, everyone's background is different, right?
Absolutely.
And so if you are someone that's born into a situation where you have exposure to so many things, then you're a little bit more confident in how you navigate, right?
Right.
And then there are those of us that weren't necessarily exposed to everything. And so we had to build our confidence, right, through reps. And so being exposed to specific things, trying things, failing,
Absolutely.
trying again. I think those reps really help to build confidence. And the same thing with courage, right? Because I think once you've built the reps and you're like, hey, I can do this, you're now willing to really step out and put yourself out there and really figure things out, even if the outcome is uncertain.
Right. Awesome. Wow. Great insight. So to add to that, Trish, is there a difference between confidence and courage? You mentioned a little bit earlier when you stated that confidence is maybe the feeling and courage is more of the action.
Yeah.
So is there more of a difference with it? Is it similar, just different entities? Like, I know I don't want to get too stirred the pot a little bit, but
yeah, I like that.
What do you think?
I think they're different, right?
Okay, all
I
right.
think confidence, again, is just this deep internal belief, right?
Mhm.
That you are able to do anything that you want to, right? But it's based on reps. You've practiced, you've seen the outcome, and then you've practiced again because maybe the first time you failed and you're like, how can I learn from this? How can I move forward, right? And I think courage is really acting on that, the ability to say, no matter what the outcome is, even if it's a high visibility, situation, I'm willing to put myself out there, and whatever happens, happens, right? And so I think there really is fundamentally a difference between the two. I think, again, confidence is really that internal belief, and I think courage is that outward, forward acting component.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that, Alexa.
So,
What you
as
got?
you know, Trish, most of our viewers out there, they're college students. So, from your perspective, why do you believe that they struggle with courage?
Yeah. I think it's a variety of scenarios in terms of why college students struggle. One, I think it goes back to, again, if you haven't been exposed to a ton, there's really not that confidence that you're able to necessarily execute the way that you think you should, right? And if you think about it, from preschool all the way up, we are constantly compared, we are constantly
All the time.
evaluated.
All
And
the
sometimes
time.
it creates that fixed mindset, right? That if I fail, then I'm not good at this. And that can really be a confidence, deterrent and killer. And I think the other part of that too is that, if you don't have those reps, you're just not as comfortable. Social media really plays a part in it as well.
Man.
Everyone's
Not
posting
anymore.
their highlight reels, right?
Oh,
You only
God.
see what people want you to see. But in the background, everybody's struggling too, right?
Absolutely.
And so that can also promote that fear of embarrassment, which can, again, deter you from taking the chance, from raising your hand, from speaking up for fear of embarrassment, right? And so, today's students, it's just so prominent that it's just one of those things that I can completely understand why they struggle with it. Even as adults, I feel like, and professionals, we struggle with that
Absolutely.
as well,
All the
right?
time. All the time.
And so, I think that's really one of the drivers in terms of why students today just continue to deal with the lack of confidence. But just know, everyone has mastered their craft based on reps, right? It takes so many reps to really master something. And so just remember that. Don't be afraid to fail. Everyone has failed. And failure is really that key to continuing to learn and continuing to grow.
Absolutely. I love that. And for our viewers out there, I absolutely agree with Trish. Especially with evolving technology, I find that everything and everyone is under this consistent microscope of perfection, the idea of perfection that really does not exist.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys, and handing it back to Edson.
I hope you heard all those little nuggets. I'm just saying, I heard it. So I'm just hoping you all there, Alexa. Thank you for sharing your additional thoughts as well. Especially someone who just graduated from college and still trying to find yourself and stuff like that.
A year into adulthood.
Oh
Oh gosh, yeah.
Keep it coming. So Trish, you work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, correct? How long have you been there?
I just finished my 4th season and year 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So working for an organization as distinguished as the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
How does the Buck organization show that they value confidence and courage?
Yeah, I think when you look at our cultural philosophy, it's based on I am that man. And it emphasizes 4 key areas to me. The first one is confidence. There is resilience. There's resilience. There's accountability. And there's passion, right? And when you combine all of those things, it really shows, it goes to the players that we draft. And we really kind of look at some of those as the soft skills for who we bring into the organization. So, it's ingrained in who we are. It's ingrained in our cultural philosophy. So we definitely value confidence.
All right. I was going to get into the second part of the question as far as asking, how can someone who's aspiring to work there exemplify this? So You just said if they really do the research and understand the values of the Bucks and organization and show that they portray that authentically.
Yes, authentically.
That's important. Authentically.
Authentically, people.
Authentically, will that help them to eventually have opportunity to work at the Bucks?
Absolutely. I think when you're in an interview, right, any opportunity to really share and highlight how you have, really taken on something that you weren't necessarily super confident in, right? Or you stepped into a new venture, what was the outcome? Really showing what you did and what the result was. Or even courage, right? Did you step up? Did you say something in a difficult situation?
Right.
And again, what was the outcome?
Without,
Those are things that our organization values, and any time that you can highlight that, I think it's really important so we can see the connection.
Awesome. So talking about the Buccaneers, unfortunately, they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
So I kind of wanted to get into the weeds a little bit of the organization as far as working for a professional sports team.
Mm-hmm.
How much does the success of a team or the lack thereof, like if they're not having a good season, not making the playoffs, how much of that affects the organization, the employees? How much of that affects the confidence and courage of the mindset of the people working there? Because I could imagine working for a professional sports team, you feel in ways connected to them, right? So if they're so if they're not successful, then in some ways you might not feel that we're successful. So how does that really affect the mindset of the employees at the Buccaneers?
Yeah, we are in a high visibility organization, right? And so I think when you're winning externally, it's very validating. And internally, you're like, yes, the process is working. And it helps you to be confident in that process, right? And then for our season, halfway through, things kind of took a turn, right?
Yeah.
But I think it really, what I saw from my teammates really was that courage to stay the course, right? And to double down in terms of how do we learn from this? How do we continue to fine tune our processes, right? Even under all of the scrutiny and all of the criticism, right? I think one of the things that shows a healthy organization is really its ability to learn from these opportunities and just take things to the next step moving forward. And really that helps to build confidence and courage in terms of just like our culture and what we've built and what we'll continue to build.
All right, awesome. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. All right, Alexa?
Well, kind of to shift a more of like a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
Has there been a time in your life where you struggled with courage and confidence?
Oh my gosh, yes. So actually, funny story. I would probably have said no to this. Probably like,
got him.
I would say like 8 to 10 years ago, right? I learned early on in my career that one of the things I struggled with was really presenting and articulating ideas in a coherent way that could help drive someone's actions towards a specific thing, right? And so I talked to my mentor, and my mentor said, Trish, listen, if you want to be successful, if you want to continue on in recruiting and talent acquisition, these are skills that you're going to have to develop. And I said, well, Marty, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, Trish, go to Toastmasters.
Ooh.
And so I went to Toastmasters, and I had the courage to go to Toastmasters. And so the first time I went, I just sat, I observed, and they had their speaking points and they had their topics that they were talking about. I did not participate. I just kind of watched. And then the next go around, I was like, all right, if I'm going to continue to do this, I really have to just jump both feet in and just do it. And so I did. And slowly but surely, I built the reps, right? And I started to gain confidence. And so I started to raise my hand for opportunities within the organization, whether it was to present an idea to run meetings, to, it eventually led me to leading teams. And so I was able to get those reps, and the more reps I got and I started to see positive outcomes, built my confidence, right? And then as I got further in my career, it really gave me the courage to start to raise my hand for those high visibility opportunities, And so I myself, my background, I'm West Indian, right? And so sometimes, what you're told as a little girl is girls should be seen and not heard. And you don't really realize how you internalize that and
Right.
how that impacts you until you get into the workforce.
Yes,
And now you're in
absolutely.
positions where you have to communicate, where you have to articulate your ideas, and you're like, wait a second, I don't know how to do that. I'm
Mhm.
not confident in my ability to do that. And so those were things that I had to unlearn, some uncomfortable situations that I had to put myself in to really grow and move forward. But I'm better for it. And I mean, here I am with you guys. So,
Absolutely. And honestly, thank you for sharing. Funny enough, we're both from the West Indies at this table.
I love
Edson
that.
and I. And
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you have to overcome, especially as a woman.
Yes.
Kind of like
Yep.
finding your place in the field and like building
Yes.
that confidence.
Yeah, and your cultural background, that's why it's so important to have diversity of thought and just diverse backgrounds, because there's so many people that you can relate to, and there's so many people going through the same things that you're
Mhm.
going through, right? And it just helps to promote different ideas or different initiatives based on that. And I think that's so important. But I love that we're all from the West Indies.
Yes, absolutely. Islands. So you kind of touched a bit on the next question we had here for you. It's about a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's this like correlation between courage and confidence and that growth mindset and how they might affect each other?
Yeah, for sure. I think, again, having the reps, being able to do the work, right? It gives you the courage to then say, hey, I don't necessarily know the outcome, but I'm going to try anyway. And I think once you start to try, fail, learn, try again, it really just helps with that growth mindset loop.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. A little motto, I know it's pretty basic, it's everywhere. I tell myself like this every single day. It's 100% of the shots you don't take.
You miss
You
100.
miss them.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's
of the
just
shots
like,
you don't
come on,
take.
just
Yeah.
take them and see what happens.
Yes.
So,
1,000%.
Shoot your shot.
yeah, shoot
Yeah.
your shot. You never
Yeah,
know.
so-
You
You
never
never
know.
You never know.
And I think that's like just so funny because I tell people that in sports all the time, right? Especially even those who are not necessarily in college, but who've been out of college for a while, and you're looking to maybe like pivot to something else, right? You don't know unless you try. And what's the worst that can happen, right? I think reframing your mindset instead of looking at it as a failed opportunity, looking at it as what did I learn from this? What can I tweak? How can I attack it again and win that second time?
Absolutely. We try and tell our students and alumni actually all the time, if you're wanting to pivot, don't let necessarily what degree you got in or maybe your past
Right.
job dictate
Yes.
where you want to go in the future. Because at the end of the day, throughout life, you're gaining these transferable skills.
1,000%.
So
Yeah, I mean, I came from healthcare and I'm now in the sports industry.
wow.
I'm a psych major.
Wow.
And I'm now in the sports industry.
I got my degree in sports management and I'm in higher education. So that's what I just tell you.
Yeah.
You never know where your path, where your career, or just what opportunities will take you. You never know.
Yeah, I think the important thing is really to be nimble, is what I always tell people, right? Like, just kind of let that career path take you where it will. Because, for example, the opportunity with the Buccaneers, I share this story sometimes. A headhunter reached out, and I told her no. I was like, you've got the wrong person. I think you're looking at the wrong profiles, I think is like what I told her. And I was like, here, let me help you. Let me just help you find some candidates that align truly with what they're looking for. And her and I built a relationship, and we'd never met, but I just wanted to see her win, And so she took my resume and sent it along anyway. And the chief people officer in the box was like, well, I want to talk to her as well. And I was like, wait, guys, no, I'm not. I'm not the
Pump the
right
bricks.
person.
Pump the bricks.
And part of that too was like a lack of confidence in my ability. I was like, I know nothing about sports. What am I going to talk to these people about, you know? But the thing is, transferable skills, right? Recruiting is recruiting, regardless of the industry. And so being able to articulate what I did in the past and how my skills transferred to what this current opportunity was looking for was what sealed the deal, you know? So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter what degree you have. I think those are just some of the things, right? Some of the elements that make you unique and make you valuable to any organization or to any specific position, right? And the important thing is really knowing how to highlight that.
That's amazing. No, thank you so much for sharing that story. It really reinforces what we're trying to tell the students and alumni every day. So that's amazing. I'll pass it back to Edson.
Yeah, man. So as we get to the end of this episode, which is sad because this has been an amazing
this has
conversation.
been a great talk.
This has been great, and I'm glad you didn't tell me no. I shot my shot.
I am too.
I shot my shot, and she was like, "All right, let's go. I'm ready for this." So thank you for coming. So as we conclude our episode today, we always like to leave the audience with like an action item or something to do, or a takeaway to leave from watching this episode. So what will be the action item, or what will be that takeaway you want the audience to leave with after watching this episode?
Yeah, I think, what I want people to leave with is really belief in yourself and deeply in your ability to do anything that you want to do, right? And I think that will come from just getting the reps and having the courage to say, I'm not confident, I'm not sure, but figuring out, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do? And taking action on that.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, everyone, that concludes our episode for today. If you enjoyed it, please share on social media comments, what you gathered, what's your takeaways. If you want to stop by our office and let us know, that'd be great. When you see us at the career fair, stop by and say, hey, I really enjoyed that episode on confidence and courage. And you never know, if you're going to the career fair, you might run into Trish or someone from the Buccaneers.
Exactly.
You might run into them. But Trish, if a student or anyone's interested in doing more research on the Buccaneers and maybe seeing what are some different opportunities, what would be a good way for them to connect or to really get more acquainted with the Buccaneers?
Yeah, so follow us on LinkedIn. We post a lot of our opportunities there. And then go to our career site. We have all of our opportunities posted there. I think there's this misconception that we sometimes don't post all of our openings, but we do. All of our openings are posted. They're on our careers page as they become available. We'll be posting our emerging talent programs applications here in the next few weeks. So look out for those applications mid-February. Connect with our staff on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. And any questions that you have, just feel free to reach out.
All right, awesome. Trish, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Alexa, thank you for co-hosting me
Of
today.
course,
You rocked it.
anything.
You rocked it. You
Thank
rocked
you.
it. To everyone, thank you so much. Have a great day. And you want to do a Go Bulls with us?
Oh, yeah,
Go
go
Bulls.
on.
All right, let's go. All
One,
right.
2, 3.
Go Bulls!
Stay tuned for Campus Conversations with Alexa and Gabby.
Hey guys, welcome to our segment. I'm personally really excited about this one. Quick introductions. I am Alexa Abris. I'm part of the Industry to Campus Connections team, pretty much a fancy word for employee relations. And then over here we have...
Hi everybody, I'm Gabby. I'm currently the Industry Connections Student Assistant on the team.
Yeah, so we thought this segment would be pretty cool for you guys because we know as students you have so many questions, and we thought it would be cool for you to get it answered by a recent alum
And a current undergraduate student.
Yeah, so this is our first segment. So for this one, we're doing frequently asked questions, but we're hoping you guys will enjoy it enough to click the link below and pretty much just share your questions, and you get to be featured on a podcast. I think that's pretty cool stuff. So Gabby, will you start it off with a question?
Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, well,
All right.
maybe.
All right, so first question. How do I stand out to employers?
Okay, so that's a great one. at the end of the day, we know that there are, well, I hope you guys know at this point, there are lots of events happening on campus. You need to go to them. You need to actually have personable conversations with employers. It can't just be a random outreach email, following a company website. That's a great start. Get as much knowledge as you can, beforehand, but that kind of one-on-one conversation, that's your chance to shine. Throw in a little segment about the company that, a little fact so that it shows that you did your research. Show genuine interest, in this day and age with technology, absolutely anywhere. I know we all love it. We're part of the era, but it kind of makes standing out a little harder. So it's now about that personal touch instead.
One thing I really love that we help students with for standing out is industry panels.
I agree.
Love the industry panels. We have industry panels where we have professionals come out, employers, and they answer all their questions about the industry that they are in, and you get to meet with them one-on-one. And I know a lot of students that have loved that experience because they get to really personalize that connection.
Yeah, and then they have a great plug to that company that they might later want to work with. So that was a really good point to bring up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll hit you with the next question, all right? So this is a real one, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what if I completely bombed an interview?
That is a good question. Honestly, it's okay. Just take a deep breath, take a step back from it. Everybody goes through rough interviews. Some people go through perfect interviews and don't score a job, and some people, for what they think is a rough interview, lands them a job. So interview equals practice. The more interviews you go through, the more practice that you get. And I think it's really good for reflecting on what you can perfect for an interview. So if you do mess up, you can always correct yourself, and you can think of other ways to really just perfect it and move forward from it. So it's not fatal, and it's not the end of the world. You're gonna be fine.
I couldn't agree more. I think people forget a lot of the time that interviews are conversations.
Employers are also human. They do the same exact mistakes, and I'm sure they have also bombed or failed multiple interviews in their lifetime. So there's no judgment. Everybody's human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. How many takes do you think it took to do this segment of the podcast? We're probably on take 3? Take 4?
Maybe.
So it's all right. Things happen. It's practice at the end of the day, and we only get better from there.
Yeah.
So
you ready for your next one?
Try to be.
All right. Why do I keep applying to jobs but not hearing back from any employers?
Okay, that's one of the realest questions I've heard in a minute. And it kind of brings back to the first question we had, right? We're at this point where technology, there's also a tough job market already. And with technology being the main source of, okay, I hit this button, I've now applied, I've submitted my resume to a company. There are hundreds, there are thousands. There are many people doing this at the end of the day. It makes it difficult for your resume to stand out. So a couple of suggestions I have is definitely meet with a recruiter coach, okay? Make sure that your resume is passing the AI tracking system, okay? At the end of the day, now we have to account for AI. If your resume isn't tailored for the specific job, then pretty much you're gonna get kicked out of the bunch before a real person even gets to view it. And then it also comes down to those in-person networking opportunities. That's where you're gonna kind of get in contact with a real person that might actually be like, hey, send me your resume. It's hard. And also a little hack I would like to share to you guys, do not apply to jobs that are posted on a job board for over 3 weeks. I'm sorry, most likely the hiring manager is no longer looking at it. If you're going for LinkedIn, set it to the 24-hour setting. Only apply to the jobs that have been posted within 24 hours because usually the applicants haven't even hit 100 yet. So it kind of lets the employer, you have more likelihood of the employer actually opening your application. So I kind of hope that helps you guys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Would you recommend them sending follow-up emails, really showing themselves and their dedication?
Absolutely. Always send up a follow-up email and not being like, hey, I just submitted the application. When are you going to review it? Did I get the job?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. Hey, I submitted my application and I just wanted to say your company stood out to me so much that I personally wanted to follow up.
Yeah, research the company, put something in there that you really enjoy about the company. Like, research the company, find out what their mission is, what they're all about, and like put a little, snippet of that in that email. It really goes a long way.
And even if you go to LinkedIn, like, find a contact, like, find a title in that company that you think relates to the role you're getting and reach out to them. What do they say? I've said this multiple times now, I feel like, in this podcast. 100% of the shots you don't take, you miss. But, like, I want you guys to, like, hear it. It's okay to, like, miss. Just take the shot, though.
Yeah.
Because one day it will land.
Yeah.
One day. You ready for yours?
Yeah.
All right. So, what are any underrated things you would bring to a career fair?
So I feel like one thing I don't see students utilizing enough is a pad folio. It's basically just a padded folder that has a notebook already inside of it, and that you can put all your resumes, you can put pens in it. I think it's really a good resource because not only can you really organize yourself, so you can put like the employers that you want to see and a little like key facts about them, so that when you are giving them your elevator pitch, you can really, like, again, the research on the employers and the companies. I think it's really important. And also printing out like 1 million copies of your resume. I feel like I don't see students printing out enough copies, and you never know who you're going to meet. And you can also put other little things in there, maybe some like breath mints or chapstick, anything that you might also need. It's really like a great resource to hold. And on top of all that, it's very professional. It's sleek and you look very confident, and that's what employers want to see, your confidence and your professionalism.
I love that. So pretty much bring what makes you feel confident.
Yeah.
I really love that perspective. I also want the viewers, if you're interested in this portfolio, please Google it, because Gabby was running around trying to find an example for you guys, and she felt hurt that she couldn't. So please take a moment out of your day and Google
USF
one.
Bookstore has some, or you can honestly get some cheaper ones at Office Depot.
Yeah. Great.
All right, ready?
All right.
So, is it normal to feel behind from everybody else? Like to have that overwhelming feeling like you're not in that same place as other people when you like compare?
Yes. At the end of the day, we're genuinely on our own paths. I say just keep putting the work in. You're not behind. You would be surprised. There are people in this world that were given everything, and we're all at the same place,
I was recently told that comparison is the thief of joy. So
I
comparing
love
yourself to others is only going to hurt you more. So just keep on going your own pace and going your own line.
Yeah. Gabby and I honestly constantly, I would say, like, tell each other this throughout work. Like, I'll have my days where I'm like, okay, I thought I'd be running an empire by now.
Yeah.
It's a little humbling.
Yeah.
And then Gabby will be like, am I gonna get a job?
Yeah.
And then we both kind of like, it's great to also have a support system, I think, too,
I agree. Find your people, find the people that like help lift you up. We come into the office every day trying to lift each other up.
Yeah.
And, putting ourselves back on that track.
I know. Couldn't agree with it more. So, you ready to take on the last question?
Yeah. All
right. So, what if I have no idea what I want to do?
So I feel that very deeply. I came in and I thought I had an idea, and then I've jumped around a bunch of different ideas. One of the things I would say is definitely reach out to our career services and everything that we provide. The career coaches are definitely a great resource to help you guys and help, kind of guide you in that right path. But also explore what you're interested in. Try everything. I mean, college is one of those things that you can try everything. Join clubs, you could change your major. Even after college, you can just, apply to jobs that you think would fit your passion, and it doesn't hurt to just go to a different one if you don't end up liking it. One of the things I really love that my career coaches told me about are informational interviews. So if you really don't know what you want to do and you have like some sort of like inkling towards like one specific way or another, you can do informational interviews with professionals in the area. So let's say that I wanted to be a career coach, I could make an informational interview where it's like very casual, and I could just ask them questions like, what do they love about their job? what is their day-to-day, like things like this to really understand, like, is this for me or should I keep looking?
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a little cheesed and happy here because you know how many times I've told Gabby, just don't be afraid to explore?
Yeah.
It's all part of life.
It's
you
also
know?
skill development. You're just developing your transferable skills that'll take you from the next.
Preach. And you hit the transferable skills.
Yeah.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, your entry-level role, it does not have to be the role you're doing
No.
3 to 4 years down the line. The skills that you gain, though, that's what's going to help you get the next thing.
Definitely.
So.
And so focus on those transferable skills. Search them up if you want some ideas of what those look like. And they're very, very useful and practical in job roles.
Yeah. So that's a wrap on our questions for today. We are so glad you guys took a moment out of your guys' day to pretty much listen to Gabby and I yap because we are certified yappers, as they say.
Yeah.
So, but please, guys, fill out the link below because we want to be able to actually answer your questions.
We want to hear from you guys.
And you'll get us a shout out. We'll make sure to say like your name, your major. So take a couple minutes. It probably won't even take 5. Fill out the little link.
Yeah.
Send us your questions.
And the questions that you have, everybody else has. So don't be afraid to send them. I promise you'll be helping so many students.
Absolutely. So, Alexa and Gabby out.
Go Bulls!
Oh, oh, oh.